From the forest of Monza to the tropical coast of Russia. Welcome along to Sochi for round 15 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 1 Championship and the Russian Grand Prix. We are in the largest country in the world, covering over 17 million square kilometers along the shores of Sochi, the most popular tropical resort in Russia. We played, the host of the 2014 Olympics a couple years ago. Not important or anything. But now it plays the host for Formula One in the Russian Grand Prix here tonight. But let's talk about the circuit then. The Sochi Autodrome, built in 2014, has 18 corners, 12 to the right and 6 to the left, which makes up the 5.85 kilometer, 3.61 mile distance. And they have 2 DRS zones, one in the run into turn 2 and the other into turn 13. This will definitely aid overtaking at a circuit that is not too notoriously difficult to overtake, but it can be. With an average speed of 220 kilometers per hour, 137 miles per hour, and a low abrasive circuit, tire wear is not much of an issue here. So Pirelli have brought the C5, C4, and the C3 tire, with the C5 being the red-wheeled soft tire, the C4 being the yellow-wheeled medium tire, and the C3 being the white-wheeled hard tire. Plus the intermediates and full wets are also available. Right now, they are not needed. Well, I'm Haycatcher, joined alongside by Mitchie. It's kind of a reversal of the roles, but it's been 2 seasons since we've been here. What do you think will happen?
Well, firstly, Catcher, hello everybody, and yes, just a bit of a reversal, a few things going on, but we'll be back to normal next week. Well, not really normal. Catcher is the normal around here. Russia, who knows? I mean, we've seen a hell of a week so far in the tiers, in the races. It's been absolutely wild. It's been absolutely crazy. And here in Tier 1, full grid as well, everybody. Who knows what could go down? And also, as you said, of course, tyre wear, not a big issue here at all. So it's just all about being fast and know how to pass.
Indeed, especially going to be a lot of passing and overtaking through the DRS zones into 2 and into 13. But we've seen through a lot of tiers that turn 2, not many cars can fit there. 2 can't go in the 1. You've heard that saying a numerous amount of times, but it's been true numerous amount of times. We could see a lot of contact and maybe even a few collisions down into turn 2. But Neymar is going to be the first one to start his flying lap. A little bit of a clear track in front of the Williams. We'll see how he goes on at the Sochi Autodrome. A lot of drivers out so far out of the pit lane.
I see a couple of guys on the mediums, but again, around here, as we have said, it's just soft, medium. I mean, it's like, what do you do? But really, soft, you're just going to go on the soft. That's probably your better option. Are you going to go on the medium? You could. But Russia's just one of those weird circuits where strategy's just... You know that you can go long around here. And also, we don't know yet. We haven't heard anything. Maybe Catra's maybe heard something from the bird. Who knows? Rain could always be a possibility around here. Always. And we're seeing that so far today as well. In Tier 2, it's happened throughout as well. Rain is always a big possibility around here, but Neymar coming up towards the end of his lap so far, and with 14 minutes to go, Catcher, and we're going to see what times we're going to see here in Tier 1.
Well, it's funny you actually talk about the bird, because I want you to go and see exactly what that quote-unquote little birdie said. It's a wet race. We're going to have some fun, which would explain the entirety of the soft compound tires. Neymar's going to be the first one to cross the line. Into the line he goes, the 30.7. That's going to be the time everyone wants to beat. Behind them, I believe, is going to be Zinab for the next one to the line. I believe either Hammers. That was Sirhan, so you were right with that one. But I believe the next one on a flying lap would be Chandler. Yeah, there you go.
Across the line now, and it's going to be to the top, 30.5. So very close throughout the field. And yeah, let's just ignore about me saying about the dry tyre strategy, because that means nothing now.
Same with the DRS. That's not going to mean anything now. That's going to be disabled unless it is a wet to dry race for a net 1.3 off of the pole right now with a 131.9.
Mumu's and Mumu's just had a big old slide, absolutely going for it here on this lap as Louis goes to the top with 30.421. I missed the McLaren, apologies for that. As the AlphaTauri now crosses the line, it's been a bit of a sloppy lap, but he goes P4. And the Haas's are next to cross the line to start their laps. Actually, Maneko finishes his lap on the mediums and goes P4.
Not a bad lap at all, and well, he's probably going to be looking for a soft compound run a little bit later on, especially because you're going to have to start on the wets regardless, unless maybe the forecast lies to the drivers. Maybe they're, oh, Boss Cookie loses it. We're just caught that. That's the exit of turn 10. He kind of clipped the sausage curb on the apex and looped his Alpine right around before that DRS straight. So, well, who plays out when it really works out for these tires, especially the softs, are pretty much going to be, everyone's going to pretty much putting them on. Everyone so far has them on except for Bailey and Miniko, who went medium. But here comes Sirhan and the Haas. I'm sorry, the Ferrari. That's not the right one. But here goes up to 9th and a little bit off of Ferrari nut, about 65 milliseconds to be exact.
Dehan has just done a purple first sector in the Haas. There was a bit of chatter in the Tier 1 chat about Deer Hunter's pace here in Russia. It's unknown if that's going to come to light here or not. And let's see how it goes in the middle sector. It's not as good in a purple. Oh, we'll see what he does at the end of this time. But the Alfa Romeos starting off their laps, as a matter of fact. So a lot of drivers now about to restart their lap times here at the circuit. But Deer Hunter now about to come to the end of the lap here, and let's see what the Haas driver can do.
Yep, he was actually really frustrated a season ago. He goes up P6, by the way, ahead of his teammate by about 4/10. He was frustrated that we had a lot of those tracks that were to his nature, one of them being Monaco, the other one being Russia. They were not added to the calendar. He was a little frustrated about that. Well, now he has a chance to prove why he was so frustrated about it. Right now it's P6, but Hoopalicious goes to 4th. He was actually the last winner here at Sochi about 2 seasons ago in Season 5. Well, let's see if he can do it again.
Yep, that was a bit of a time ago when most of the grid got penalties. I mean, I don't know. I'll catch you this question. Do you think penalties are more of a risk in the dry or the wet around here?
Arguably, I don't know, because we've seen a lot of drivers run wide throughout the weekend from all the tiers, and especially the dry and the wet, and it seems that the track limits are not so cut and dry at specific points of the track, so they may be a little bit less lenient in the wet, or they could be more lenient in the wet, by the way, as Bailey, the championship leader, goes provisional purple sector 2, so he could possibly be on a flyer going through turn 15 and 16, but I think that maybe it be a little bit more lenient in the wet, so I'm expecting penalties to not be so much of an issue. But it could very well play a factor in this race as Bailey comes, the championship leader, round turn 18. What does he go? Up to P8.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think in the wet you can be a bit more careful around here, whereas the dry, it's very... yeah, and we've seen that during the week where penalties are a huge factor around here in the dry. But we'll see how that goes throughout the race here tonight. And Sanchez has just gone up into P14, and someone else just moved up. I can't tell who that was.
Crispy.
Thank you, Crispy, P4.
There you go. Good lap from the Alpha Tauri. Edu is going to be invalidated in the middle sector. Fern is also invalidated, but in the final sector, those drivers, those two, as well as Raptor and Axe, all the drivers who have yet to set a time so far in the Russian Grand Prix. About 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. There's enough time for these drivers to go back in the pit lane and set another lap. But everyone has pretty much gone for, once again, the soft compounded tire like we thought they would. As right now, Louis on pole by about 1/10.5 over Chandler, but Drix not too far away. The McLaren's split by Chandler.
Yeah, the McLaren's looking up the top at the moment. Chandler not too far behind. Of course, Chandler now moving to 2nd in the championship. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And we're looking to continue on winning ways here at the moment and slightly up in the first sector so far. So we can see if this Mercedes can maybe challenge for pole.
Yes, he will definitely be looking for... Oh, Bailey almost lost the car. I believe he's trying to go to the pit lane. Yes, he is. So that snap would be insignificant. Ferrari also going to the pit lane there as well. Hoop, Drix, and Louis all going on an out lap. And yes, we'll touch on that championship standings a little bit later on. Edu invalidated, and so did Fern. Once again, the track limits catching some of these drivers out so far in qualifying. That's going to be crucial to them in the race because it's not going to be the same track limits like we talked about. Well, it still could very much play a factor. A lot of these drivers going back in the pit lane, some are going out. That's a McLaren way off the line, getting out of the way of Fern. It's honestly up for grabs here.
It is. It's absolutely up for grabs. I feel like there's some drivers, Crispy, maybe Hoop, maybe even a Neymar or a Deerhunter or Ferrari, not that, and even a Bailey that could, as Chandler does a 13.171. There's still a few drivers out there that I think have got another lap in them to try and see if they can build up towards that pole position of Chandler. So keep a lookout in these last 7 minutes.
That would definitely be something to look out for. And Axe and Raptor are both going out on the track for the first time to see what their laps can do. Obviously, the bottom four from 17th all the way to 20 have yet to set a time. Hoopalicious is on a flying lap in the middle sector. Yellow flag through the first, I believe that's turn 13 and turn 4. Drivers letting others through on their own attempt of a flying lap. The two McLarens are on a flying lap. Both of them could possibly be challenging Mercedes as Chandler Sita for pole, but it could also be this man in the Red Bull down to the turn 13 for Hoopalicious. And you know what? I may be the lead commentator this time, but we'll give you a little bit of fun. Your commentating lap, who do you want to do it with?
Well, we'll just watch the end of Hoop's lap here at the moment because this could be an important lap, or maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. And I just got to get the track up on my phone here. And so Hoop now across the line and 30.1. And look how close that is.
That's an incredible lap.
And Manika goes P4.
So who do you want to do it with? You have a plethora of drivers to do it. Ton around that lap from 6th all the way down to 11th.
Well, Neymar's about to cross the line here, and hopefully Neymar does not mess up this lap for me. We'll go on board with a lap around the Sochi Grand Prix, and I apologise for my voice at the moment. Did not sleep at all last night, as going to get underway in the Williams, a track here at Sochi that can always cause the drama and the chaos. And we now see where the action's going to be lap 1. Here, lap 1, this corner right here, it's going to be absolutely dramatic. And I'm telling you this right now, there's going to be cars everywhere. I guarantee you right now, at least a few cars are going to have some wing damage. Tough part of the circuit around here, 3 and 4. As Neymar's gone for a big spin, he gets it back around and doesn't want to get damaged. He probably did there. And the curse of me commentating on someone with onboard lap has come to a head.
Thankfully for Neymar, he can go back to the pits and don't have to worry about that wing damage he may have gotten on the rear wing. Because thankfully, it actually was quite similar to, I believe, Sebastian Vettel's crash in 2020. So it was quite reminiscent. He's still trying to fight the car. I think he does have some rear wing damage backing out into the barriers. But a couple of drivers are now on a flying lap, one of them being Axe in the Mercedes around turn 17. Now into 18. He's P20 at the moment. He's yet to set a lap. Can he set pole? No, he goes 14th, a second off of his teammate Chandler. Behind him, I believe, was a Haas of Deer Hunter who goes 4th. He takes it away from his teammate Meniko by about 9. Oh, actually, was what? That is 91 milliseconds?
Yes. Wow.
It's incredible, the top 5. How close they are.
Especially between the top 3 as well. The top 5 very close to each other as well. And Deer Hunter with that great P4 so far. And we have less than 5 minutes to go here in this session. Final runs not too far away. There's still a few drivers out there completing lap times right now. Bailey out on a lap, but he's actually, I think, may have lifted off possibly. I do not know. I'll find out in this middle sector, see where the Alfa Romeo is. And yeah, he did lift off there. So everyone really now going to get themselves ready for this final run here in qualifying.
Yes, they are. One of those drivers who's trying to get a run a little bit earlier on, Feta Cheese and the Aston Martin. Well, that's actually a little bit late to the pit lane. He goes in and is going to try and get off those softs to get another set on. But we have a couple of drivers on. I believe Crispy may be on a flying lap once more. A Haas is going pretty slowly down this straightaway. I believe that is Deer Hunter out of fuel. You'll see in a few seconds' time. There he is, right in front of the horizon, down into turn 3 by the Fly Emirates Sport. But Crispy in the Alpha Tauri, about 6/10 off of provisional pole, that being a 30.171 set by Chandler. Can he try to get or match or beat that time? You never know. 5 milliseconds separates first and second. Could we add Crispy to that list? Can he grab provisional pole in the Alpha Tauri? We'll find out in a few corners' time. Into 17, the Alpha Tauri has one more corner to go around to negotiate. Can he grab pole? He's P7 at the moment. Can he get higher? He does. P4. That's close.
Close. Very close. There's 0.2. It's very close in it. Between that top 6 now. And Crispy will not have enough time to come back around unless, well, he could go for a second lap if he wanted to. Slow things down and go for a second, since, as we said, it is a wet race. as Edu's now about to cross the line in the Alpine. Let's see where he can go. And he's going to cross the line, and he goes up one position.
Yes, he does. Sirhan is on a flying lap going into turn 10 now. Down the DRS straight, going into 11, 12, and 13 in a few seconds' time. He's, I believe, the next one to cross the line, barring, I believe, the AlphaTauri. Is that Mumu or Crispy in front of him? That is actually Mumu in front of him. So, yeah, he is going to be the next one to cross the line. He's right now P16. That's actually one of what? Him, Edu, and Crispy are the only ones on a flyer lap, but I believe Edu maybe very well be on either a second push or a cooldown lap. Same with Crispy, we're out to find out. And Sirhan backs off.
Ooh.
So he's going to go into the pit lane. He may not have enough time. No, he doesn't. That's going to be his qualifying done and dusted if he pits this time. Chandler's going to be on an outlap. Hoopalish is yet to come out yet. Louis is on an outlap as well. He's actually right in turn 17, right where we left off with Sirhan. He's going to start his flying lap. He's 42 milliseconds off of pole position. Can the McLaren go replicate his Bahrain form? We'll have to find out in about 18 corners time.
Yeah, the McLaren's going to see if he can somehow find pole here. Crispy's done, so he's not going to do what I thought he might have done. And there is a little bit of traffic here for Louis here at the moment. If you see 3 or 4 cars up ahead. So the McLaren's got to hope for here that these guys do get out of the way. Or try to hope he can. Oh, he may have lost a couple little milliseconds there. But see if the McLaren can get back on up it here at the moment.
Purple sector 1, so he has a little bit of time to go chase after Chandler and the Mercedes up there. 42 milliseconds is what he has to find, but Hoopalicious and Chandler are both on another flying lap. And that Ferrari right there in front of him may have possibly given him a little bit of dirty air, but thankfully he gets out of the way before turn 10. That's Bailey and Sirhan, I believe. So now it's just a straight shot, the final, let's see here, 8 or so corners for Louis. I had 6 real ones as these two, 11 and 12, are flat. Can the McLaren get close? A lot of yellow flags, a lot of traffic behind Louis, so thankfully he got out where he did. He still had a little bit of traffic, but he could have had a lot more.
Louis now coming to the end of this run. This could maybe be a pole. We don't know. Coming to the last few corners now. Can the McLaren driver get the pole position that he will desperately want? No! Whoa! Okay, 30.129, and that's a unique way to take pole.
That was definitely unique indeed. I thought it was in the barriers, but he got that little bit of extra time. So Chandler's going to have to find 41 milliseconds. It's an exact reversal. Louis was down 42. Now Chandler's down 41, so he has to figure out if he can find that time. Hoopalicious is down 46 milliseconds. Can those two drivers find out? Can they grab that time? Checkered flag flown. Sirhan didn't make it. Feta and Edu and Sirhan are out of qualifying. Same with Crispy up in 4th. So it's all going to kick off now. The next driver to cross the line, I believe, is going to be... Is that a Willie? That's actually a driver off. That's a Mercedes. That's actually Axe F1, I think. He's around at turn... No, actually, it was Chandler. Oh, was it? What did I
No, it
see?
was not Chandler. It was not Chandler. Chandler right now is 0.085 up in the middle sector. Hoop is up by almost 2 tenths. So Hoop right now could be on for pole position here unless he mucks up this last sector.
I don't know exactly what I just saw, but Chandler's is going to in turn 17 in a few seconds' time. He's 41 milliseconds off a pole. He was provisional pole. Can he go back to provisional pole? He's second in the championship. He wants a chance to go improve. He does go pole. 36 milliseconds. Hoopalicious is next. He goes pole by about 2 tenths. It is all crumbling down to the top. Can Mumu? No, he doesn't. He's done. Deer Hunter's invalidated as well. Miniko, he goes up to 5th. Those times are crumbling down. Can Neymar do anything? He's into turn 15 and then Williams. He wants to get better time. He's about, 8 tenths off a pole. He wants to get higher up. Deer Hunter is done. Everyone in front of him is done. Neymar's going to be the next one. Drix goes up to 10th. Can Neymar spins around to the final corner. He's out of qualifying as well. Zinab, he's invalidated. He's out of qualifying. The championship leader, Bailey's in 14th. He's out of qualifying. Axe is out of qualifying. And that is the Russian Grand Prix qualifying done. Hoopalicious on pole by about 2 tenths.
It was sensational middle sector. Chandler got a bit more out of that last sector to take that P2. But wow, Hoop getting the job done here at the moment, and a superb job for pole position, and a pole position the Red Bull driver honestly needed.
He definitely needed it as well, but it's not guaranteed. It's only 33% of races have been won from pole. Let's see if Hoop can try to continue the streak. From Bosch Sherbo winning earlier from pole. Can he do it again? He won a season ago, or the last time we've been to Sochi 2 seasons ago. He starts from pole tonight. Chandler Cito behind him. And on the same row, Louis, Crispy, Miniko, Mumu, the two Canadians in 5th and 6th. Deer Hunter, Fern, Cookie, Drix, your top 10. With Neymar outside the top 10 and 11th, he gets free tire choice, but it wouldn't matter because it's going to be a wet race from what we heard. Zenav 12th, Ferrari not 13th, the championship leader. Bailey in 14th. Feta 15th, Axef1 is in 16th. Sirhan, Raptor, Edu, and Sanchez round out the top 20 in the classification for the Russian Grand Prix in Tier 1.
Now, as we usually, with my stream, we usually go to a merch ad, but of course we can't do that. Don't forget,
Hey, mate.
Fan 10, everybody. Fan 10, 10% off your first order for BRL merch. Don't forget that. Just to let everyone know that, as it's absolutely pouring down here in Russia. And hey, Katra. Hey, Katra, don't worry. Some of the stuff that you have made will be a part of the Tier 1 stream next week. Be sure to look out for that.
Something right.
Before I let Katra start things off, yeah, tune in next week. Hopefully, some new stuff, some cool stuff to start the stream next week. So, yeah.
There's your incentive to watch the Singapore Grand Prix in Tier 1. But for now, let's run through the championship order. Bailey, like we said, the championship leader, 201 points. He's the only driver with triple-digit points, which is insane because he has a 107-point gap to Chandler behind him. He starts from second. That is an incredible gap. He overtook Miniko a week ago. He went up 7 positions. Miniko's 2 points behind him, but he's not very clear of Raptor, who's 2 points behind him, who's tied on points with Crispy. The top 5 of the championship, barring Bailey, who's 107 points away, is insanely close. Hupaloosa is only 1 point behind in 6th. From 2nd to 6th, only separates by 5 points. That's incredible. Axe in 7th, Mumu in 8th, Neymar rounds in 9th, and Ferrari Nut rounds out the top 10, but he's tied on points with Zenav in the Ferrari, with Cookie in 12th, Ryan in 13th, Edu, Luis, Sirhan, a trio of Mexicans in 14th, 15th, and 16th. Shamrock, Drix, Unsighted Port, and Deer Hunter is your top 20 in the Tier 1 championship, but Alfa Romeo, insane, have a 111-point gap between them and Red Bull, with Mercedes lurking in the wing. 27 points between Red Bull and Mercedes, with 4-point buffer to Haas, and AlphaTauri is looking in the wing with 1 point to Haas as well. 13 points to Alpine. They sit 6th, 99 points to their name. 13 behind them is Ferrari in 7th. McLaren, Aston Martin are close with 12 points between the two in 8th and 9th, and Williams round out the top 10. There's your little championship rundown. Usually you would see it on the stream, but, I'm not very good with that.
It's okay. Before we kick things off here, and yes, quick time to chat saying we need BRL raincoat merch. That's right, the drivers need that right now. Indeed.
Oh.
Real quickly, as we usually do here on T1 Stream, predictions for this one. Chat, let us know. I am going to say the race winner is going to be, very shockingly, I'm going to go Crispy.
Huh, interesting. Oh, this very well could be the race winner. I personally am going to go for Hoopalicious. I honestly think the rain is going to help him. If it stays wet, I think he can actually win it from pole. No DRS into turn 2 and into turn 13. And if he keeps on the track and he stays quick in the wet, as he's drifting, he actually did spin around. Same with, I believe, Luis almost followed him soon.
Do you want to change your position? Oh, and the Haas around too!
What is going on?
There's
through turn 15?
cars around.
It's a skating ring.
Well, this is going to be absolute chaos. I can predict that. Full grid, and we could see some safety cuts here at the moment. So Hoop, Chandler, Louis, Crispy, and Miniko, the top 5. And I'm going to let Katra kick us off for this Tier 1 Russian Grand Prix.
We've seen a ton of chaos, and it's bound to happen again. We've seen Formula 2. We've seen Realistic. We've seen Tiers 4, 3, and 2. Now it's time for the fastest drivers in Breakout Racing League. In the Tier 1 Championship, it's the Russian Grand Prix, a full grid, 20 drivers. We go from last of Sanchez up to Hoopalicious in first. Who makes it to turn 2 first? And what happens? And what is the make of the Russian Grand Prix? and it slides out, and away we go, and it's a very tentative start from everyone in the grid, but it's a really good start off the line from Chandler. He's already alongside and actually ahead of Hoopalicious down to the turn 1. Into turn 2, it's going to be a straight-up fight. Who can get ahead? Crispy ahead of Louis. He's almost 2-3 wide, a little bit of contact in the back, but Chandler ahead of Hoopalicious. Crispy looking down the inside. Louis around the outside going into turn 2. Who can make it? It's the McLaren and the Alpha Tauri. A little bit running wide, a little bit of contact further back in the pack. Hoopalicious trying to fight alongside Chandler. He's still side by side. They're side by side. They're wheel to wheel into turn 3. They're still side by side. Who's going to make it lead into turn 4? Around the outside, Hoopalicious will go. He'll stay ahead. Almost loses the car. Chandler almost loses the car into Crispy. And now Hoopalicious will lead from Louis. Where does he come from? There's been carnage and chaos, and it's been 5 corners.
Well, surprise!
Oh no!
Oh no! There's more chaos. That is Fern around. Oh my God! I was about to say there's not much damage that's happened behind, but we now have a car around, that being the Aston Martin. But my goodness me, Chandler almost just caused a 10-car pile-up, but he held on to it anyway. P3, but here comes Louis, who's closing in here on the Red Bull.
Yeah, I almost thought it was going to be a huge collision, but now Betta and Fern battling for 18th, the 2 Aston Martins, but here come Louis on Hoopalicious, looking to the outside of turn 13. Brakes early, does not want to risk it behind him. Chandler, though, lurking in the wing.
Hoop is almost wet. Louis giving it a bit of contact. There's so much going on throughout the field at the moment. The mid pack's crazy, the back of the pack's crazy, and the leaders are crazy as well.
Hoopalicious has been kind of struggling in this wet condition. We saw it from the formation lap, but it's still kind of carried over to lap 1. But it's been a crazy lap 1. Hoopalicious stays from pole like we thought he would, but from around the field, Louis up in position, Chandler down 1, Mumu up 2, ahead of his teammate Crispy. Cookie up 3, Drix up 3, Bailey up 6, pitting is Minico in the Haas. I believe he may have been the car that had a little bit of damage, same with Sanchez and the Williams. Deere down 2, Zenav up 2, Axe F1 up 5, Raptor up 5, Edu up 4, Fern down 8.
Oh, Hoop did not have a good run for turn 2. He's gone wide. Here comes Louis in the McLaren. It's going to be side by side. It's pretty much the... Oh, no, he's gone!
Oh, no!
Oh,
that is a huge crash.
He's not out, but that was a big moment.
How has that happened? I am honestly really shocked he's in this race still, Louis. But Edu gets past, or stays ahead of Fern, running a little bit wide there, but that was an insane crash going through turn 3. Hoopalicious now has a little bit of pressure going wide again. That's the Aston Martin of Fern. But right now, Hoopalicious has Chandler, and now Mumu up to podium places. What a crazy start to this race.
And Louis definitely does have damage, absolutely. I mean, the contact in that wall absolutely has damage. And that's a big moment. They're trying to take the lead from Hoop, but now Hoop can just settle down now and watch out for Chandler behind him. But Bailey now is closing in on Driggs here as well for P6. There's battles galore happening at the moment. Neymar and D-Hunter as well, battling out for P9 and P10, and Edu and Fern!
Yeah, Fern just went deep trying to look for the move on Edu, but apparently Edu actually kept it well. That's a yellow flag, I believe. That's Sanchez around at turn 10. Actually, it was Minico in the Haas. He's around at turn 9, rather. But look at this. Edu once again struggling in the traction. Fern's looking for the move. He's going to be trying to look for it into turn 17. Backs out of it. Chandler goes the fastest lap. It's all kicking off. Fern's off the track, running really wide at turn 17. Getting very wide, but very... Look at the traction he got. Going through turn 18. And Louis into the pits. What could have been from him? It was a huge crash.
Well, the only thing that can... I'll say this real quickly before things get a bit crazy, which Neymar and D-Hunter are going side by side, and D-Hunter's gone off. He takes the track. Axe
is out of the race.
Retired in the pit lane. Well,
that's not the way he wanted to start this race.
Well, I think... Oh, no, who's that? That's gone. It's Raptor. Big spin for the Alfa Romeo. Wow.
Wow, it's been insane the first 3 laps of this race, and there's still about 24 more to go. Raptor has a significant amount of damage, no left side of his front wing. Hoopalicious leads Chandler by 1.1 seconds. Sirhan gets past Raptor, obviously with that damage, it's not going to help him out very well. Crispy is now under pressure from Boss Cookie behind him, but he's still trying to pressurize his teammate Mumu. No DRS, obviously, because of the wet conditions. It's going to be straight on raw pace. And I would tell you the exact estimate of how much faster you need to be per lap, but I don't know that. Well, that's unfortunate, really.
Boss Cookie's coming up into this fight for the leaders as well. Bailey still hunting behind Driggs as well. And real quickly, I was trying to say before things get crazy here. Axe, I think, has retired. I mean, well, has retired, but I think he's probably retired. Well, the fact of the matter is this, if we're staying full on wet here, you're most likely going to see us no one pit here. So you have to rely on a safety car here if you do pit for damage. So that's the big thing for some of these guys at the back, like Louis, Maneko and Sanchez. It's like, the only way you're going to get back in this race is if the safety car came out.
Yeah, which is very much reinforced by the statement of earlier on, how like
Here comes
low
Bailey.
abrasive.
Sorry, Akatra. Bailey looking for the movie on Driggs. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the two, too. Too many twos there. And here comes Sinaf in the Ferrari.
What an incredible move around the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact between him and Drix. But Drix is going to have to go down losing 2 positions from 6th now to 8th. And look behind him, Neymar's there now.
Neymar up in this fight as well. And Neymar going to try and see if he can get up in this fight for this battle for P6 here at the moment. Raptor in the pit lane. And so is Feta as well. Driggs now gets a time penalty.
Yep, the first one of the day, barring Deer Hunter, who was actually right behind him in 10th. He's closing in on that train, actually, a little bit closer as it matter. So you get 3 warnings before you get a penalty. So far, 2 drivers of the 19 still running have won. How many more will we see? But it's going to be down to Neymar. He's going to close in a little bit on Drix. Will he have the run? He has the slipstream. No DRS this time, but he has the overtake button engaged. He has the slipstream right now pulling out of the right-hand side. Will he go down the inside? He will go down the inside. Late move, late braking from the Williams. Will he get ahead of the McLaren? Yes,
Beautiful.
he will. He'll get up to 8th. What a move.
Beautiful move. Great work by Driggs as well, giving him the space there, because that's the top of the corner where if you go side by side it could end in tears. So now Neymar up to the PA, and he's going to see if he can close in here on Sinav and Bailey, even though Bailey's now pulling away from that grip behind.
Yes, he is. He's now 1 second ahead. If he had a little bit of mistake at the exit of turn 18. Oh, almost lost it again. Going through 18, struggling on these wet conditions. Bailey is right now. Remember, I guess a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was at Silverstone. The same thing happened, but once the intermediate tires kind of turned on, he was really flying. It looks like the wet conditions just not suited for that Alfa Romeo. Closing in right now, Zenaf. Look how much he's gained. About 6/10 going down that one straight, especially from that little bit of a loss of traction in the exit of turn 18. But Mumu is actually closing in a little bit on Chandler. Crispy a little bit off of, well, Mumu in front of him. Oscar, he's lost a significant amount of time running wide at turn 5.
Not much has really happened at the front, by the way. 1.7 seconds hoop to Chandler, so I think that pack is going to stay steady for a little while. It's pretty much this mid-pack battles, including Hunter Driggs' contact! Oh and
no.
Driggs is around.
What exactly happened there?
There was contact, and something light contact too. I might record that on my end. That was an ugly one. I don't know if Deer Hunter's got damage from that at all, but it was only slight contact there with Driggs. I'm not going to officially say who's at fault or anything, because I would have to look at the replay again. But Driggs and Deer Hunter, really, that's the end of it.
However, by the way, to look at, down in 19th, Minico has put on the intermediate tires, and looking at the track, well, maybe there is a little bit of a drier line forming. I wouldn't say dry line, but there is definitely a drier line. There's still puddles on the exit. And into the pit lane goes Bailey, so maybe it is a little bit of an intermediate crossover. Cookie's in as well.
Yeah, Bailey in the lane, Boss Cookie in the lane. So, intermediates possibly. Yes. Well, now this race is getting interesting. Ooh.
Well, maybe Axe could have used that safety car after all. But unfortunately, looks like that's not going to work out so far. But look at this. Neymar and Zenaf closing in on each other. See how that plays out. Edu with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings to track extensions. Maybe it's not so lenient as we thought in qualifying.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just gonna look here and see what gain that these intermediates may or may not have But yeah, Sinev closing up here on Neymar for position. Mumu once again for second and third. That's steady, as I said before. And as of right now, I can't tell if the inters are better than the wets at the moment. It's hard to tell.
Well, we'll have to see as it plays on. We'll have to look at Boss Cookie. He's directly going to go and try to chase after Sirhan. He's the first one that can directly compare an intermediate to a wet, or you can say Drix and Raptor a little bit further back. Minico pits again. Unfortunate for him, I believe he's going to change his front wing or probably put on a new set of intermediate tires. But the gap up front, though, 2.3 seconds between Hoop and Chandler. It has been absolutely flying as of late for Hoopalicious.
Boss Cookie is gaining time on Sirhan at the moment. He's also slightly gaining time with the leaders. It possibly could be Inters. As Chandler said,
Crispy's actually gone off.
oh,
Crispy's out.
well, that's going to change everything. If that's what I think it might be. Actually,
What happened there?
I'm trying to figure out what's happened.
What has happened?
Has he crashed in the pit lane?
I think he may have crashed in the pit lane.
Wow.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless there, but now we'll have to continue on. Chandler's in, so maybe it is intermediate conditions, and if he is trying to go and try to undercut Hoopalicious, he may have that slight chance, but is it wet enough for these wets to still have a little bit of pace? It looks pretty dry for intermediate, though. Dry enough for intermediate, should I say.
Apologies for that. Just got my 15-minute warning. But yeah, Chandler now. Oh, Chandler has a big moment. Don't mind me.
Yikes.
Sirhan now with a 3-second time penalty. But Chandler now going to try and see if he can get past this wet run if he possibly can. Needs to just get through because Chandler could maybe get the lead here if he gets clear, and yes he does. So now Chandler has 10-second gap ahead. He's clear and he could possibly get ahead of Hoop here, possibly.
It was a skating ring through turn 9 for Chandler as he got past Sirhan, so maybe it's a little bit on the crossover. I definitely do think, seeing at the track now, it is definitely time for intermediates. Well, when does Hoop come in? He's going to come in now. Well, let's see how it plays out with him and Chandler.
It's going to be close. I think it might be close here. Has Chandler been held up a bit too much by the Ferrari? We'll have to wait and see. Mumu stays out, and so does Sinav, but Neymar and Fern are in.
Well, here we go. This is the race we're going to look at between Chandler and Hoopalicious. Where does Chandler filter out? Where does Hoopalicious come in relegation to the Mercedes? Here he goes. He's going through 18 now. Hoopalicious is already gone. He's going to be well clear, I think. He's already going to be on the throttle and the exit of the pit lane. And he, I believe, is going to be well ahead. Actually, it may be close between the two. No, I think it's going to be well ahead for Hoopalicious. 2.9 seconds. And closing, yeah.
Chandler was slowly going to, so maybe being behind that Ferrari's cost him a little bit of time there, possibly. So there we go. But Mumu's still race leader, but him and Sinav most likely will be in the lane this time by, unless they're getting different information that we don't know.
Well, it's
highly unlikely.
comical, wouldn't it be? I don't doubt that.
Well, you don't know.
So far,
you don't know.
It's true. It could very well. It could go back to wets at this rate. You never know. It's happened before. It could do it again. I mean, if you could reference the realistic Grand Prix, everyone thought it was going to rain and it stayed pretty much dry the entire time, barring some raindrops. So it could very well happen. Yellow flag through the first sector.
Oh!
Safety car. What has happened in the pit lane that's warranted a safety car?
Yeah, something's happened in the pit lane. I don't know what that would be. That's an unusual one.
Raptor has no front wing. Was that in the pit lane or not? But regardless, there is too much debris on the circuit for them to warrant not putting out the safety car, and that is going to help out Mumu and Zinav.
Wow, that's a big one. That's a big moment there. And Mumu and Zinav now both into the pit lane. So Who will regain the lead here? On lap, come up to lap 9 of 27. Wow.
Well, where does Moo filter out with Chandler? Chandler's going through it, so it's going to be Moo. Will he get ahead of Boss Cookie? He needs to beat him past this pit lane exit line. It's going to be not even close. Moo's going to be up to third. He's gained a lot of time. Zinab's going to be around fifth position. I think he's going to keep that fifth position. Bailey's going to pit. Same with Sirhan in the Ferrari. Both of them goes to intermediate tires. Everyone's gone intermediate except for Sanchez and Feta in 15th and 16th, who's gone to the wets. Well, they're going to be safe for this situation.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this restart is going to go. Sanchez, as you said, wet tyres. Don't know about that. I don't know about that. How that's going to go for them. But Hoop, race leader, and P3, Boss Cookie, P4, Sinner. P5.
To be fine.
It's all good. It's all good. And I'll tell you this right now. Another thing, the person that brings this race back into it is Louis and Minico. Brings them back into it.
Yeah, it does, and that's something that Minico was really desperately hoping would happen, and unfortunately, Axe is kind of wishing he had that before he retired in the pit lane. And Crispy, we're still not exactly sure how he retired, but regardless, we've lost Crispy and Axe in the first 9 laps of the Tier 1 Russian Grand Prix for round 15 of the Breakout Racing League Tier 1 Championship. Well, there's still a lot to play for. We're going to restart, I believe, in about 2 laps' time. We're still going to wait for, I believe, Bailey's, actually Raptor is going through turn 2, so he's going to be the next one and the last one to catch the safety car cue. As everyone else is going through turn 17, there's still about, what, 12, or no, I'm sorry, from 13th down, as Fern and Neymar are having a little bit of a situation here. Fern, what's going on here?
I don't know what's going on there. That's a mystery.
It is. I believe he was actually, not sure if he was ahead of Neymar or not, but he was tussling with Neymar and then tussled with Edu into 18 as Chandler is desperately trying to, oh, whoa. It was close between him and Hoopalicious.
Tell you what, as everyone will know, you don't want, under safety car around Russia, it can be very deadly. So, and we're seeing that already with some of these drivers.
Would you like to do the honors, or do you want me to?
No, let's not talk about it. If you
want
to know what,
if
you want to know what catchers talk about, go to Tier 4.
Season 5, it was in 2021?
No, it was 2020.
Can't remember. No, but the actual year, not the game.
I think 2020. I think? I don't know.
Oh, no, actually, it was 2020 because Mexico was the break that we restarted in 2021. So, yeah, go look on the Breakout Racing League YouTube channel for Season 5, Tier 4 if you want to see exactly what Mitchie's talking about. He wants to forget this situation, don't you?
Well, one thing I was going to do with our new intro here, which I wonder if I was able to be here for most race, which I'm about to have in just a couple of minutes, was going to show that incident. But luckily, I don't have to. But, yes.
That's good for you.
But we're about... No, we're not. Never mind. I do apologise. It was around here because for some reason the safety car is very, very slow at this part of the track at Russia. Unknown. Why?
Well, they still have to wait on, I believe, next lap they will go in.
Yeah.
So we'll restart, with 10 laps of racing done, 17 more to go. No, it will be on lap 12, so we'll have 11 laps of racing done. We'll have 16 laps to go in the Russian Grand Prix.
Well, I think while we're on the safety car, I might do this now, so I don't leave while Katra gets very, very excited on this safety car restart.
I might as well get your
Catra might try to
Alright.
get someone in, who knows, but again, I thank Catra for letting me in for these 11 laps. And the question is, Catra, can Hoop hold on towards the end of this race? Because looks like Hoop's the one on top right now, but Chandler looks hungry. Moo looks to be up there as well, and you can never count out Boss Cookie. I always say that. Never can count on Boss Cookie on Fiends, because Fiends go wild, Boss Cookie can be there in the end. So this safety car restart is going to be very interesting.
Yes, it will indeed. So thank you for joining me for this brief amount of time, but it was fun indeed. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. And don't forget, might be here tomorrow for ACC.
Oh yes, definitely don't forget that. All right, now Mitchie's gone. We will run you through a little bit. Here's the race director so far. If you're just tuning in, there's the pit stops we've had. Let's go and get my co-com in here now so we can have the rest of this Russian Grand Prix to your enjoyable. So we'll go in this time by. Raptor will come in to, I guess, close up to the rest of the queue in a few seconds' time as they're going into turn 10. So, we'll have 11 laps of racing done by the time the safety car comes in. We'll have 16 laps more to go. I do not think they will have to pit again unless the track dries out, which is definitely not out of the question. So Hoopalicious leads Chandler, leads Moo leads Cookie, Zinav, Neymar, Fern, Edu, Ferrari Nut, Deer Hunter, the top 10. There, the safety car does go in this lap. Sturhan ahead of Bailey, Drix ahead of Louis, 13th, 14th, with Sanchez 15th, Minico 16th, Feta 17th, Raptor 18th. We lost Crispy and Axe so far through the Russian Grand Prix. And there's a lot more action still to come. It's going to be a fun one, so don't go anywhere, because it could very well have dramatic finishes all throughout this Tier 1 race so far. We've had an incredible weekend in the Russian Grand Prix. It could very well happen again in Tier 1. Hoopalicious has gone. And Chandler is right up the back of him. He's going to try to look for the moves as early as he can with the slipstream. He does not have the DRS, remember, but to the left-hand side he'll go. Side by side, Chandler and Hoopalicious. The Mercedes and the Red Bull down in the turn 2. Who gets there first? Chandler's around the outside, Hoop down the inside. A little bit of contact, more contact made between Hoopalicious and Chandler. Hoopalicious is going to have the nod. He's going to stay ahead into turn 3, just like it was in lap 1. Deer Hunter past Ferrari Nut. Moomoo's not too far behind. Side by side between, I believe that was a Ferrari and a Williams. That was Zinav and Neymar. Neymar gets ahead of Zinav with Fern behind. Battles all throughout. Drix gets past Sirhan. Bailey gets past Louis. And it's kicking off in the Russian Grand Prix. So far, Hoopalicious ahead of Chandler. 6/10 the gap. Moo not far behind Chandler. 3/10 the gap. He could very well pressurize the Mercedes in due time. But will he have the chance going into turn 13 this time? I'm trying to also get my co-commentator in here as well. So, excuse me for a split second. All right, Fern gets past Zinav. Oh, no! Fern's been spun around at Russia, the same place he did 2 seasons ago on the final lap in Tier 2. He's down to 12th. It looks like it may have been a little bit of contact between him and I believe it was Edu. Oh, not Fern, I'm sorry. Edu was the one spun around. Oh, looks like a little bit more contact made. It's crazy in the mid-pack. Hoopalicious with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, the first full complete lap we've had with intermediate tire conditions. And it looks like it's definitely time. 1 second the gap between Hoopalicious and Chandler. Moo 8/10 back, 3/10 back. Cookie, he's going to look on the AlphaTauri, the best chance he possibly will get. So far, Neymar not too far behind Cookie. And we are getting a little bit of trouble getting my co-commentator in here, and it may just end up being me for the rest of the night. Sanchez, 3-second time penalty for multiple orders and track extensions. Add him to the list of drivers with penalties that will be applied at the end of his race time. 3 seconds. Right now, Neymar not too far away from Cookie again. Remember these two, remember back all the way to China. And a couple of rounds, I believe, at Portimao, or not Portimao, I believe a couple of races to go, not exactly sure. We're teammates and help each other out. Now they're fighting wheel to wheel down the back straightaway here at Russia. Down into turn 12, around the outside, and Neymar is fully ahead of Cookie down in the 13. And he will get his Williams up into 4th position. Cookie clambers over the curb in 5th. And yes, it looks like I will just have to do this by myself, so you get to hear my voice alone. All right, let's get it prepared now. So Neymar gets ahead of Cookie. Zinab not too far behind him. Edu 7/10 adrift. And look at the battle between the McLarens in 10th and 11th. They're closing in on each other as well. They're trying to chase after Ferrari Nut in 9th. Hoopalicious the fastest lap of the Grand Prix again. Chandler has lost 8/10 that lap alone to the Red Bull of Hoopalicious. He's doing and replicating exactly what we did a season ago where he won this race. But it was a lot closer than it is so far. There's still about 14 laps to go in the Russian Grand Prix. There's very well a lot of time that could happen. Safety cars, penalties, spins. You never know. It could happen in Russia. And finally, you're here. So make sure you click the box. Oh, Feta almost loses it. Are you in the session, by the way? Unfortunate. All right. Maybe a little bit of still some technical difficulties going on. Deer Hunter is not too far behind Edu. Same with Zenat behind Cookie. Once again, Tricks and Ferrari Nut goes down the inside. The McLaren of the Red Bull. And look at this. Louis is going to have now under pressure from the Aston Martin of Fern down the inside of 7 into 8. Fern gets ahead of Louis in the McLaren. Into 11th he goes, trying to chase back up the field. He was up to 8th. And there, I hear you now. You're good enough. Oh, a little bit of contact with Fern and Ferrari Nut. Just make sure you include the audio. Okay, there you go. All right. Now welcome formally, Ron. Welcome to the booth as we see Fern to the right-hand side going on Ferrari Nut. Will he go for the move down the inside of 13? Yes, he will. The Aston Martin goes up into 10th. What a move from the Aston Martin. Late braking. Gets past Ferrari Nut and gets into the points. Louis grabs a 3-second time penalty in the middle. No! Almost a little bit of contact. Almost been spun round Ferrari Nut. Look at the contact made again. Louis and Ferrari Nut. Don't look now. Sirhan's in this mix. It's all kicking off in the back. Trying to grab these lower points paying positions. Are you in the session?
Yes, I am. I apologize. I'm setting everything up in it.
Good. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm good now.
Okay. There you go.
All set. Took a little. Yeah, I started watching this race helping another driver, and it's looking really good, but Hoop is taking a commanding lead by far. Biggest gap so far on track.
Sirhan gets past Ferrari Nut into turn 2, and don't look out. Now Bailey and Minico could go at it. Bailey's having an atrocious race by his standards as of late, and Ferrari Nut still looking on the move on the Ferrari into turn 3 and now into 4. Fern gives a 3-second time penalty as he's trying to pull away from these guys behind him, especially Louis. Bailey's closing in on Ferrari. He's going to go down the inside at turn 5. He's going to make the move stick. Does he stay on track? Yes, he does. He'll go up to 13th. And Fernand's going to fight back at him. Still wheel to wheel through 7 into 8. They're still side by side. Over the curve, the Red Bull goes. They're still side by side into 8. Now into 9. Who yields? They don't yield. Side by side again. Here comes Minico. He's now side by side with the Red Bull. He may get them both. Bailey finally gets past Ferrari Nut. Minico now fights down the inside. Around the outside of turn 10. He'll go. Pushes wide the Red Bull. And now Minico's going to have to yield behind him. And wow, what a fight they had.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Meanwhile, I saw PSR Lewis and Fern going at it. I believe Lewis got that position, but Minico does pass Ferrari Nut, I believe. Because he did get that move done.
Oh, forcing off the track. Ferrari Nut on Feta. He's now on the AstroTurf. He's not going to have much traction due to the wet conditions. He's now got to go a little bit wide, trying to go and fight back at Ferrari Nut. Almost contact made into 16.
Ferrari Nut is.
But Ferrari Nut will hold that position.
Ferrari Nut is dropping like a rock right now, but meanwhile, the man who continues to lead a 3-second gap right now, Hoop, is pulling away from the field while the rest struggle to try to keep up with him.
Yes, he is. Mumu has actually gained a little bit on Chandler in that battle with Mumu and Chandler for the battle for second. But look back again. Feta and Ferrari Nut once more. They're going to try to go for it into turn 2. Feta backs out of it and does not want to go for the move into turn 2. He stays behind him. Sirhan grabs a 3-second time penalty in the mix of this.
Oh,
it's all
around
kicking off.
goes Boss Cookie.
That is going to be crucial to his race. Boss Cookie around. That's at turn 4. Does he have damage in the Alpine?
I think he just lost the rear end. I don't think he hit anything. I don't see anything.
Running wide, Fern ahead of him. But Cookie's now going to have a lot of ground to make up. Oh, look at Moo Moo. He's close to Chandler indeed. He's going to try to go for this move as quickly as he can. He's going to have the slipstream. He's going to have the DRS. Actually, no, he won't. He had the ERS, sorry. Louis past Drix. The two McLarens swap around. Is Chandler far away? Is he close enough, Moo Moo, to go for this move on Chandler? Looks like he's just a little bit too far back this time.
Two McLarens.
That was close.
I don't know if he's close enough to make that move. No, he's not. He's going to stay behind him, but he is gaining on his teammate.
Yes, he is. And behind him, Fern's not too far away. He's been closing up and having a charge ever since his little bit of contact at turn 13 a couple of laps ago. Sanchez past Raptor. Oh! We almost lost it. Neymar's not too far away from Moo Moo. Battle for 3rd and 4th. So this battle is now heating up with 3 cars in it. Chandler, Moo Moo, and Neymar. And don't look out now. Zinav may be going into that fight as it goes on. He's closing in a little bit.
I believe his... Yeah, I think Fern and Drix are battling right now.
They are wheel to wheel. The Aston Martin to the right-hand side of the McLaren. Who breaks later? The Aston Martin breaks a little bit. Oh, no! Fern around at turn 2.
Oh.
And resets the track.
I don't know.
Do that.
I don't know how bad that would be, but yeah, that was just unfortunate. It really hugged him way too far down there. They were pretty side by side. It was a little too much, but luckily he's still going at least.
He is, and I don't think he has damage in the Aston Martin, but once again, he's going to have to try and recuperate and recover and see what he can do from 18th now. Remember, last time he was down at around 15th. He went up to that position and almost got back into the points. Let's see if he can do it again. Right now, though, the battle between Moo Moo and Neymar and Chandler kind of ironed out a little bit.
Might be sizing up a move on the Ferrari right now.
He has a really good traction out of turn 10 from Minico and the Haas. He's going to look for this move as quickly as he can. He may be close enough. He is going to be close enough with the ERS, a little bit of deployment. The slipstream on the fellow Ferrari-powered car in the Ferrari. Around the outside, 13. Look at Zinab. Oh, he's way off the track. He goes really deep.
Don't know if he got damage. He might get passed by Bailey as well.
Down the inside of 15, side by side, the Alfa Romeo now gets past Sirhan.
And he might get passed again.
Here comes Ferrari Nut.
He's trying to fight too much here. He needs to just let the next car by and, you know, stop his losses. He might get passed again.
He went down. He has lost that now 5 straight positions from Minico to Bailey.
He may lose another.
And he may be under pressure to Sanchez behind him.
He just needed to cut his losses with that, but he just kept fighting them, and it just kept losing in positions.
Well, now we'll see what he can do from the 15th position. Sirhan trying to fight after and grab the points. He has a penalty to his name, though, so it may be difficult. Lap 18 of 27. We have about 10 laps to go. Drix now has a 3-second time penalty on top of the ones he already had. Let's take a look at the penalties so far. Running wide a little bit more. That is, I believe, going to be Feta and the Aston Martin behind Ferrari Nut, trying to chase him down. Really close between these two. And Feta is really pressurizing Ferrari Nut now. But look at this, though. 3 seconds to Edu, 6 seconds to Deer Hunter, 3 to Louis, 6 seconds to Drix, 3 to Feta, 6 to Sirhan, who runs really wide at turn 8, 3 to Sanchez, 3 to Raptor, and 6 to Fern. Right now, though, the top 5 and 10 through 13 do not have penalties.
Yeah, I'm very surprised right now. Both Chandler and Moo Moo, for fighting for currently P2, both have almost 60 ERS left. They're impressively saving this while battling very hard. And Neymar is not too far off the yellow flag. That's a leader!
Hoopalicious has gone around at turn 16, has lost 1, 2, 3. He may even lose 4. He does lose 4 spots. Chandler now takes the lead. The fight for the win is now on. Moo Moo is now 7 tenths behind Chandler. Neymar's on the podium. Zinav's not too far away. Hoopalicious, what has happened to the race leader?
I think he might have he lost it coming out. I believe that's turn 14, maybe 15. I don't know the turn, sadly. I apologize. I think he just maybe hit that curb and spun out. I don't know, but he didn't get any damage, luckily, so maybe he can get all these positions right back. He's already trying to get 4th place back as we speak.
Well, he has about 9 laps or so to do it. Kupalicious now pressurizing Zinab in the Ferrari, doing the best he can. How close and how quickly can he move past as the Ferrari go chase after Neymar, Mumu, and Chandler, the battle for the lead. It used to be the battle for P2. Now it's the battle for the lead. Oh, running really wide. I believe that was Edu in the Alpine. Almost hits the barriers. Now puts Deer Hunter under pressure. Puts Edu under pressure from Deer Hunter. And Louis is not too far behind the Haas himself.
He's getting quite hectic out there. I'm trying to look. There are battles all over the place, all so close. Right now, Feta is right behind Ferrari, not very close for comfort. He may be getting ready to size up a move, but so is Hoop.
Louis is really close to the back of Deer Hunter. He actually is going to go for this move down to the turn 13. Down the inside, Louis will go. Hoopalicious on Zinab. He makes that move stick. The McLaren and the Haas are side by side, wheel to wheel through 14. Almost a little bit of contact, and Deer Hunter holds position. Great defense from the Haas, who has been trying his best to hold position and go up places. He has that penalty to his name, but so does Louis.
Yeah, there are so many battles right now. It's going to be hard to try to get them all. Feta and Ferrari. You have 9th to 6th, and then you got the top 3 and 4th and 5th. It's just a lot of close battles right now.
There is indeed, and it's just the competitiveness of Tier 1 and the Breakout Racing League, but Louis is looking once again on Deer Hunter and the Haas. He's just too far back this time. Almost into the back of the Haas. He gets it slowed down. That's crucial for Louis and the McLaren, because that could have been damaged. That could have been a colossal mistake.
Right now, Chandler is pulling away. He's almost got a whole second gap to Mumu. But they both still have the same amount of ERS. They're saving it like crazy. And meanwhile, Neymar has been using it like crazy. While they went up, he went down.
Neymar trying to stay with the 2 in front of him. Hoopalicious now is going to be trying to get his most ground on Neymar and the top 2 as he can. He thinks the podium's on, but he wants that win. That mistake could cost him. He has about 8 laps to go.
Louise
the Russian Grand Prix
sizing up Deer and Minico sizing up Cookie.
He is, but I don't know if he's close enough this time.
It's going to be close. I don't believe so. Same for Minico as well.
Too far back again. A little bit of a mistake through 13 into 14 from Deer Hunter puts Louis really close, but he's just not going to be close enough into 15. Chandler actually almost went up to a second gap on Mumu. Oh, a little bit of a mistake through Louis. Almost lost the car, saved it though, and he's going to be behind Deer Hunter once again, pressurizing him, doing the best he can. But right now, Deer Hunter holds on.
That is still trying to get behind, past Ferrari, not holding him up a little bit as they have a 3-second gap to 12th place Bailey. And I think Minico might be trying to go for something. I don't know. Drix is a little too close. Oh.
Cookie on Drix, side by side, wheel to wheel down to the turn 2. Cookie breaks later, and he will grab that position, but Drix will try the switchback. He'll try to get better traction. He does get better traction on board with Minico. Wheel to wheel through turn 3. Drix and Cookie. Cookie's going to go a little bit defensive and block him off and close the door. He does close the door, and Drix is now going to stay behind, and Cookie's up to 9th.
It was a very nice battle. Very well commentated. Hoop is right behind Neymar. He's there, and he is not going to wait that long, I don't believe. Same with Luz behind Deer. They're both. Same with Drix behind Cookie still. They're all so close.
Battles up and down the grid, and it's very close. Right now, look at Hoopalicious' battery. Oh, yellow flag around.
Don't know who that is.
I believe it may have possibly been. Not sure exactly.
Luz to Deer. He has now 4 seconds to Deer. He was just behind him. I don't know what happened to him, but he did lose almost 4 seconds to Deer. Don't know if there was contact.
Louis has lost a significant amount of time. Maybe he clambered over the curb and went a little bit airborne.
And Mumu has closed up to Chandler.
Majorly. Neymar's had to use a little bit of his battery. Now he is trying to go and pressurize Mumu because he's under pressure from Hoopalicious. That second gap to Neymar from Mumu is not going to help him in this battle, but look at Hoopalicious. He's almost at 0% battery. Louis pits, so he does have a little bit of front wing damage. He's going to get off of those intermediate tires and put fresh ones on. Neymar still under pressure. Hoopalicious trying the best he can.
Driz and
He just can't get
Cookie,
past the
maybe.
Louis there.
There's a big group back there. Nothing.
Not close enough.
Bailey caught right up. Ooh, maybe Minico going on the inside. No, not close enough.
Lap 22 of 27. There's about 6 laps to go in the Russian Grand Prix for Tier 1. Running a little bit wide, that being Hoopalicious, trying to chase after, trying his absolute best. Louis going on the softs. It has stopped raining, and it does look pretty dry. Will it get dry enough for the softs to come on? And Louis may gain a ton of time if it does.
Oh, he's playing a dangerous game. He could possibly cause himself to wreck if it's too wet, and it's still, there's awfully a lot of spray coming off these cars. I think it's a little too early for something like that.
He has nothing left to risk, or I'm sorry, nothing left to lose, so he thought he would give it a try. We'll see if it plays out for him. He's actually lost a significant amount of time already, about a second to Raptor in front of him. Fern's past Sanchez, battle for 15th. Fern has now gone up a couple of positions already, and Mumu has still closed in on Chandler. Luis hit the wall, so that may be
Luis Luz. Let's say that right. He does have wing damage, but he's got no control. I wouldn't be surprised if he may be our next safety car.
Hoop has passed Neymar, so he is now released to go chase after Mumu and Chandler.
Hoop may not, Neymar may not be done with him. I don't know.
He's not. Neymar's going to fight it. He know he will. To the left-hand side he goes. Hoop goes a little bit, squeezing him to the wall, but Neymar's going to be there. Hoop goes down the inside again.
Pushes him.
Contact between Hoopalicious and Neymar. A 3-second time penalty to Hoopalicious.
They are
They're
making
still
so
banging.
much contact.
Hoopalicious is now going to try to go after Neymar again. He has a 3-second time penalty that could be removed. Here comes Hoopalicious down turn 4.
Ooh.
Almost lost the car. Neymar tries to close the door. He stays and holds on to third, but that 1.5 seconds is now to 2.6, and that gap has gained a significant amount. Hoop is now under pressure from Zinav.
It's a 2-horse race, and Luis is going to pit again. He won't be it. But while that was going on, Minico, I thought he had the move done on Drizix. I do not know how to say his name. I apologize. But then he went and braked late and went right back past him. And right now he's also sizing up a move on Cookie again after being passed by him not too long ago. But it's quite obvious. Cookie, Drizix, whoever it is holding up a lot of cars. They've fallen way off Deer Hunter.
About 7 seconds or so is the gap between Cookie and Deer. Right now, though, the battle is for the points-paying positions and for the podium, possibly, as Neymar is trying to hold off Hoopalicious. Zinav is not too far behind him in the Ferrari, and don't look now, Edu, and could possibly bring in even Deer Hunter. Oh, really sideways. What a save. Cookie grabs the 3-second time penalty. Hoopalicious is struggling. It is dry, I think, enough.
Ooh.
Is Hoopalicious going for it? No, he lets Zinav through.
Thought he was spinning out when I came to him. I apologize. What's going on? SXR Siren, I believe, got passed by Sanchez and might get passed by Raptor here. Nope, he stays behind. But there's
Hoopalicious
so
got
many
passed by
moves.
Edu, but here comes Hoop on Edu again. Down into turn 2 again. Will Hoopalicious go for the move? He does go late on the brakes, but he's not close enough to go wheel to wheel. He is wheel to wheel now. Edu, a little bit of contact between the Red Bull, and now into turn 3, Edu is going to be in front. He just can't go side by side this time.
Do you think Hoop has some sort of damage, maybe? Seems like he's falling off
could.
quite a bit.
Look at Deer. He's in this fight now.
Ooh, he's like, nope.
I think it's almost time for Slicks.
Minico going on a move.
And there's your answer. It was time for Slicks. DRS enabled. Ferrari Nut, just like he did in Holland, he may go and gain a significant amount of time. He's now on the Slicks, so it may be a little slick right now, but it could play off for the Red Bull in his favor.
It's going to
Chandler's
be
1.1 seconds ahead.
a Lando
Bailey
Norris
Pastrix.
decision.
That's for the points.
Doesn't get it done. This is going to be a Lando Norris decision. Do you stay out? It's going to be opposite, though. Do you stay out on the inner tires and hope that Ferrari doesn't catch up enough? Or do you take the chance to go on those softs believing that it's going to get too dry towards the end? It's all going to be risk. The spray has significantly went down, though. I'm not seeing any anymore from any of our drivers. And Mumu has lost the gap to Chandler.
He has. It's an incredible gap from Chandler, by the way, from him and Mumu. The battle between Bailey and Feta still kicking off. Drix is now in the points. Who pits out of these guys? Everyone comes in. This may be huge if Ferrari Nut can gain this much time, but I think he may not gain time. And by the way, the top 8 stay out.
Miniko might have regretted not. He was the leader of that pack, and now he's all by himself. I don't know. Ferrari Nut caught 3 seconds to what was Sanchez.
There may not be enough time for these drivers on the slicks to catch up to Chandler.
If this all plays out, Raptor could get points now. Same with Fern. They're both now in the points.
The gap between Cookie and Chandler is 39.5 seconds.
Ferrari Nut may take the lead of the soft tire runners. He does. Maybe? Ooh, yes. Barely.
So Ferrari Nut ahead of Cookie. Now he is 39.5 seconds away from Chandler. How much time is he going to gain when there's only 3 laps to go?
Hoop on Zinev. This may be even easier with DRS now.
It's going to be extremely easy for Hoopalicious. To the left-hand side, he gets up past the Ferrari again. Now he's up to 4th, but he has that 3-second time penalty. He could get that warning removed. We have to see and wait. But Cookie, Ferrari Nuts gained about 2 seconds. I don't think it's enough time.
If this track dries up like it did, I believe, at Portimao, I believe for realistic, then it could be a problem. But if it stays exactly the way it's going, I think these guys on the intermediates, I think they'll be just fine. At this point, I think Ferrari Nut and all those guys are fighting for 10th, if they can even get that. There's a risk to take, especially for Ferrari Nut. I believe he was in the points, same with Boss Cookie as well, and Bailey.
Byrne comes in to stop, so that's not going to promote Sirhan up to 10th. Sanchez past Feta. Mumu has DRS of Chandler now, by the way. I just don't think it's enough time for these guys to gain, to go and overtake these guys. Ferrari Nut is going to be the one to watch.
Ooh,
he's going to have
Chandler
the fastest lap now. Is that going to put Mumu into play? No, it's not. A little bit too far back. Actually, it will. Look how close those two are now.
It may be dry. They're struggling. Chandler is struggling right now.
It's extremely dry. And what is the gap to the leader? It's 32.7 seconds. That is way too much time for Ferrari Nut to gain.
Never know.
Unless something happes.
Will
it looks
Mumu
like it
be
may
able
go
to
the
get
way
a
of
move
Chandler.
done here, though? He's using all of his DRS, but so is Chandler.
Pupilicious past Neymar.
Now can he build that gap, though, and keep that podium position? Oh, yellow flag.
Sanchez is out of the race. There's not going to be a safety car because we're on lap 26 of 27. We're about to be on the final lap of the Grand Prix, in the Russian Grand Prix, here in Tier 1 of the Breakout Racing League, and it's just not going to work overall, but Ferrari Nut's going to grab some points out of this. He's gone up to 10th, but now gets overtaken by Boss Cookie, who goes up to 10th himself.
Let's see if he can fight that back at all, but meanwhile the leaders, this is going to be Mumu's only chance. He had a bad exit. He's going to have to wait for the backstretch. It's going to be his only opportunity.
Ferrari Nut's only 2 seconds off of Raptor, but he's still 26 seconds behind. I don't think he can gain 26 seconds in one lap on Chandler. This may be done and dusted for Chandler and Mercedes.
I'm hoping Mumu can give us a good show. He has DRS. They both, though, he has a good advantage on ERS. If he could just get close enough, if Chandler makes a mistake, it could be all over.
Cookie's past Raptor, battle for 9th, and that's going to put Raptor on the back foot from Ferrari Nut, Drix, and Bailey, his teammate.
McLaren and Red Bull almost crashed right there trying to get by Raptor.
And Mumu has actually lost his DRS gap.
Oh,
it's
no.
now 1.3 seconds. So Chandler, as it stands, will hold on. But he still has around 8 corners to go. Look at this fight for the final points paying position, though. Ferrari now have Drix ahead of Bailey. Bailey needs this desperately for his championship because Chandler and Hoopalicious, his 2 championship rivals, and Minico, if you add him into that list as well in 8th, all are going to score points.
This may be a big moment with Ferrari Nut right now coming out of the final corner. They're all going to try something.
But from this man to first, Chandler, he tried desperately, and it shows. It was chaotic indeed, but the weather was the chaotic part, not so much the race and overtaking itself. But Chandler doesn't matter. He is going to dominate here in Russia. He and the predictor of the weather, well, he wins it. Moo in second, Hoopalicious in third.
Oh, Boss
But
Cookie's
now because of
around.
that time penalty, and Boss Cookie gets spun around, he's now going to be demoted out of the points. Minico gets 8th. Spinning across the line. Drix also spins across the line, gets overtaken by Bailey. Ferrari Nut gets 9th. Bailey gets the final points paying position. Who grabs the fastest lap? Louis. Wow.
He's a race of what ifs, if you will.
Louis could possibly get another fastest lap here tonight, which it wouldn't matter much. Fetta's ahead of him. Oh, I know exactly what they're doing.
A little parade lap.
Reminiscence of the 2 Ferraris in 2005 in the United States Grand Prix. Louis and Fetta will take this sweet time to parade laps side by side to the line. But here's the big question.
Who's going to win?
Who gets... Yeah, who's going to win it?
Oh,
Oh!
he made an attempt. Oh, now they want to see
They're
who's
gonna
going to lose.
Come to a complete stop. Fetta gets it. Louis stops and gets ahead of him at the line.
And that was a very
What a Russian
chaotic
Grand Prix
race.
that was. Yes, it was. Driver of the day goes to Edu in the Alpine. And what a day it's been for him. But what a day it's been for Chandler. It's a what could have been for a lot of drivers, like Ron said a second ago. But this man didn't do a foot wrong. Chandler comes home and wins the Russian Grand Prix for Mercedes and claws back on that championship deficit from Bailey. Fifteen rounds done. We have about 9 more to go. Chandler's going to try to close in as best he can on that championship gap. He wins the Russian Grand Prix in the Tier 1 Breakout Racing League Championship. Moo gets second, and Neymar comes home third. Will it stand? Will Hoopalicious try to get his warning removed from the collision between Neymar and Hoopalicious down into turn 2? Zinav grabs 5th, Edu 6th, Deer Hunter, Minico 7th and 8th for the Haas's. Ferrari Nut 9th with Bailey grabbing 1 point. The championship leader is going to lose about 24 points to Chandler. He still has 107 that is going to be taken away. I think that's going to be about, what, 83 or so. He still has a decent amount of gap going into Singapore. Drix, he's going to be 11th, just outside the points. Cookie in 12th, Raptor, Fern, Sirhan, Louis, and Feta with We Lost Sanchez, Crispy, and Axe F1 in the Russian Grand Prix. So, we'll wait for the podium drivers to get in to the party, and then we'll send it over. Ron, would you like to do the honors of third and second?
Sure.
So when we go to you, make sure your box in the top of the party is clicked for we can hear your voice in the podium interviews. And Ron, take it away with Neymar and then into Mumu.
All right, Neymar, that was a very impressive performance you just had right there to get your current third podium and your second straight for races that you've been a part of, as you sadly missed the last race. How was that race for you, and do you believe that you may lose this podium now, as Hoop did beat you on track, and possibly his last warning being from the contact made between you two? But in the end, how was your race?
My race was pretty bad. Started P10, and I went to P14 immediately off the line. So I had to make a lot of overtakes to come back. And then yeah, I'm gonna lose the podium anyway. So yeah, it was fun though. It was fun.
Sadly, little unfortunate if you believe that. There's always a chance, though, but you did put on a great performance, and P4 isn't that bad. So I'll head over to Mumu, and I'll say congratulations to you, Mumu. This is your highest finishing position so far this season, and your second podium since Monaco. How are you feeling right now?
Really happy because it's been so long since I've been on the podium, and I feel like I've deserved a few more podiums, but yeah, quality was not really good. I just didn't get a good lap. Got blocked in the final sector on my final lap. Was basically just stuck in P3. Couldn't really do anything. You can't really overtake in the wet, but then Hoop spun. Don't really know why, but he just spun. So I thought I had a chance at winning, but in the end, the front left was like overheating constantly because I kept locking up because it was dry at the end. So I just decided to bring it home and take the P2.
Yes, it was a very impressive performance by you, and it was great to see you up there yet again. And hopefully there will be many more podiums to come. And hopefully next time you'll be on the top step of the podium. I'll head it over to you Fridays.
Alrighty. Congratulations to Neymar and to Mumu on their podiums of the Russian Grand Prix in the Tier 1 Championship here for round 15 of 24. But now we go to first place. Chandler, second in the championship. You're getting a lot closer now with that win. Congratulations. What was it from your perspective?
Well, the quality lap was pretty good, but Hoop just absolutely nailed it. And I knew I had one chance of overtaking him, and that was off the start. Because I was running 6-7 wings. Hoop was on 10-11, and I can confirm 6-7 wings is very bad in the wet. It's very bad all around, but especially bad in the wet. So I knew I had that one chance of overtaking him, and I could not complete it, so it was just try and hold on, which I did. And then the sector came out, and I knew that was my second chance. And I almost had it, but then we made contact, so I said, I'm just going to back off. I don't want to take it unfairly or anything. And I was going to settle back and take P2. But then he spun, and I saw the yellow flags, and I was just surprised to see it was him, because I was like, it could be somebody, but I looked at the map, I didn't look like there was somebody at me. And then I round the corner, and there's Hoop looking backwards at me, so I was just surprised at that, because he was dominating that race. That was his race, really. But after that, it was just make sure not to go off track. I had 2 warnings, and in the end, I kept it on track and won the race.
And yeah, you did, and congratulations on that, by the way. Next week, the Singapore Grand Prix. What do you think your chances are? Can you do it again?
I think the chances are good. That's usually a good track for me, but if Luis comes next week again, has the pace he had today, hopefully he doesn't have contact like he did today. He could be a threat. Hoop is usually good at tracks like that. So it's good for me, but it's also good for other people, so we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, my main goal is gain points on Bailey. I'm now 83 points off him in the championship. So it's possible. It's going to be tough, but it's possible. So we'll have to see.
Yes, it definitely will be possible. So congratulations once again. 83-point gap going into Singapore. It could possibly get lower, so don't go anywhere. Well, for myself, Hecatcher, Ron in the booth, Mitch here earlier, and the entirety of the Tier 1 grid, including Chandler, Mumu, and Neymar at the podium, we say thank you for watching the Tier 1 Grand Prix here in Russia and Sochi. But tomorrow, you get to see the Tier 1 race in ACC in Zandvoort on, well, I believe Mitchie will give you that one, the action there, and you get to see on Monday the Tier 2 race and have some fun there. Well, don't go anywhere, because on Wednesday we'll have Formula 2 at the Singapore Grand Prix, and then on Thursday we'll have the realistic Singapore Grand Prix. Friday we have Tier 3 and Tier 4 at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Tier 2 and Tier 1, once again, this time, same time, next week on Saturday for the Singapore Grand Prix, and it'll be a fun one. But once again, from myself, Hecatra, Ron, Mitchie, and the entirety of the Breakout Racing League, we say thank you for watching, and have a good night.